Hi everyone, I'm Karim, and if you've checked the video that I recorded recently, I mentioned that I'm an aspiring manga artist that aim to work in Japan as a comic artist, writing and drawing my own stories. And in the last video, I mentioned that last year, for a few months, I was in contact with a Japanese editor from a magazine that he gave good feedback about one of my works, and we started to chat and have meetings online, trying to come up with something for a new story which I have to present for the monthly newcomer award for new artist by the same magazine. So I mentioned that the last video was too long, so I will say briefly that it was very difficult to draw this work that you are going to see now. I was very stressed, insecure, so it took me maybe 2 months to draw maybe less than 30 pages now, not sure. Anyway, it was very stressful and I had to delay the first deadline, so things started to not go so well with the editor for this reason, even if at the time I wasn't fully aware on how important is to keep a deadline, even if it's for a work for an aspiring artist, and the work I was drawing wasn't like nobody was expecting my work. So I thought, if I need more time because I'm a nobody, I can take the time that I need. But I should be more careful and keep the first deadline that the editor asked me to follow. But as I already mentioned in the last video, things for this reason didn't quite work out with the editor. So what I'm going to do now is share the screen, record the screen like this. So this is the website that I mentioned in the video. It's called Days Neo, and you can use it for publishing your own work if you're an aspiring artist. I go on the quickly on the main page here. Don't translate it right now, and you see these are the hottest works by newcomer artist, and here it's explaining that first you publish your work, or you make an account, you draw it. When you publish it, you can receive feedbacks and comment by editor from all of these magazines. And if the work is good, an editor will contact you and ask you if you want to work with them. And this is a page with comments by the editors on the left. On the right, there's an icon preview of the comic, and you can also choose to publish it but keep it hidden from the users, and only editors can see your work if you wish. So I'm going now to my page, and this is the work that I drew the first thing that I drew after submitting the storyboard, the name to the editor. And it's called the Song of Luna. Not the song as the name of a track, as if she's Luna and she's singing a song. It's like the singing voice of Luna. So I will try to briefly go through this work and share with you what I did wrong and why I failed to win any type of award for this work. So this is the first page. I'm gonna say some technical things, but I'll try to not stop to every frame and say this is drawn poorly or I could have done this or that, because of course it could be better in so many ways, everything, but I'll stick to the very important things that didn't allow me to get any type of encouragement award or any from the editorial department. And also I will quickly say what's happening because the text is in Japanese. So the voice in the bubble speech we see, it's from, of course, the owner of these fingers, these hands, and it's saying something like, "You're almost ready, very beautiful," and something about the dress that he made fits her perfectly. And we turn the page. This is the first mistake that I made, to divide this page with 2 frames. It would be better to use one single frame, displaying more the table of this puppeteer who was working on this doll. But I was very struggling again drawing this, and unfortunately what's even worse is that all the time that I took for drawing this was I still have to cut corners. It's not the best that I could make at the time. So especially the backgrounds you'll see are drawn very poorly. Anyway, on the corner here there's the title that I already mentioned, and the puppeteer is still talking to the doll, congratulating himself. He's proud of this work, and already emerged the first issue, which is being called the main issue by the editor, that the doll, which should be the main character, is not at all developed. She's more like seeing things that happens around her, and the puppeteer, who will become an antagonist, it's almost like a main character. And if I had to rework this right now and I wanted to keep the figure of a puppeteer, I would change his design. I would make him more appealing and make him the main character and develop the struggle that happens later. Then I will explain differently, so it's not such a negative character, and she can still get the spotlight by being a cute heroine character. But like this, it doesn't work. We turn the pages. Here he's coming up. Sorry, with the name, because I'm Italian. Moon is Luna in Italian. So he says something like in a foreign language, moon is Luna, and here is saying I should call you Luna. And finally she says something, she repeat her name. Here I guess I was going for like a newborn thing that is still have to manage, learn, looking around. So when she finally get a name, she react, and then he take her in his hand. Another mistake, but it's not her size is not consistent during the story, and also it's drawn very poorly here. And another issue here that I noticed is that he's explaining, like giving a purpose to her. Like here he's saying that he built her for being a actress in the puppets theater, which is shown in the next frame, and she looked fascinated by this. So it should be like she's fascinated, and her goal is to be an actress, puppet actress. By the way, I didn't bother to explain how she's alive and how this universe works, but I think it's the smallest problem. But there is no real interest to be acting in this theater for her just because he said it. Anyway, he say here like he built her after many tries, and he will contact the person who commissioned this work, who is the owner of the theater. So he's calling using a phone and still talking to the person, the director of the theater. Here they're saying something about meeting tomorrow, and you see she's just a spectator, and she doesn't have a personality. She's just pretty young, naive, but there's nothing going on. Then you see a small piano, and said, let's rehearse. So again, without too much explaining, she's not only a doll who's magically alive, she's also supposed to be a great singer, because she built it like this and it's not so clear. He starts to play, and she being shy. When she takes some courage to sing, there's a lot of atmosphere around her, and apparently she have amazing voice, and he's stunned by how great the voice is. Again, here background poorly drawn. It's not clear where they are. I couldn't find good references back then. So finding references for drawing anything, especially backgrounds, complex backgrounds, it's very important. Also, the layout of the page is not great. So here she's finishing her singing, and he is so happy. He wasn't expecting such a great performance. And here I'm hinting in the storyboard, maybe they it was more evident that the doll here on the bottom of the page were looking at what was happening, but here I just put these lifeless dolls. Next page will clear why. Here she's just very happy, and again she keep looking at him without saying much. Then few hours passed, gets darker. It was already nighttime, and she's looking outside. A voice from behind say something to her like impressive work. Finally, because the puppeteer was apparently struggling for a long time to build the perfect doll, and here these incomplete or let's say lifeless dolls are walking towards her, and she's scared. Actually, I cannot recall what he's saying exactly, and I regret putting this doll like this, because I wanted to make one a bit more creepy, but I did it instinctively, and I haven't thought about it too much. And behind a shadow, it's approaching, and when we turn the page, we see it's a doll who looks like Luna, her, but it's like unfinished, ruined. Here I wanted to explain that maybe a previous attempt of the puppeteer approached her, and he never finished it. This doll, and maybe he got frustrated and hit her. So the new doll had a bright future in like the possibility to become an actress in the theater, and the unfinished dolls would stay here. And she says something like, "Be careful. He can get very attached to you," and she's concerned. Now the next morning, these are the only frame that I like on the whole thing, like this two. It's the only background, even if it's minimal, that I feel works. The how can I say, the size of her next to the ink bottle ink, and there's some instrument on the table, which I like. Sorry. And the puppeteer shows up in the storyboard that I drew. She was supposed to be frightened by him getting close to her after what she learned about by the doll in the previous page, but I kind of went with this in the finished manuscript, and he's saying like, let's fix every small detail before the director comes to see you. And he's putting some makeup, and she's quite happy. She have a smile on her face, and the door is knocking, someone is knocking at the door, and he opened. Here, I wished I at least drew the shadow of the director who came, because I didn't want to put another character, show his face. I wanted to keep a hidden figure, but it's a bit poorly drawn like this. Anyway, the puppeteer takes the piano and he starts to play, and Luna is singing along. And when they finish, he's moved by how beautiful her voice is, how pretty she is, and he's very proud of his work as a puppeteer. The theater director is shaking his hands, but the puppeteer says that he's not convinced about the final product, and he still wants some time to perfect his craft with Luna. The director says it's actually perfect, and the puppeteer insists, and in the background Luna is listening and is feeling concerned. So in the next page, we are almost finished. You see also it's too fast. The development, it's poorly written, and we are almost finished, and it's not a great story, right? So he's like stressed, he don't want to leave his best creation yet. I drew him, I want to make him look like a nerd who never leaves house and doesn't have any social interaction, so he spent a lot of time building this perfect doll, and when he does, he don't want to leave it. So he trapped her in a box. It's supposed to be a glass box. Again, poorly drawn, and classical, maybe psycho face in manga. Unfortunately, very poor drawn background here on the table with the items. Anyway, clearly he don't want to leave her, and she's trapped. And the night comes along, and she look again outside, and she feel trapped and unable to do anything. The dolls reach her, and they say something like, as we expected. Here I wanted to still make them look creepy as they approach her, but you see they're immediately helping her out to leave. The proto doll get close to her. She says something like, we are doomed to be unfinished, and we will stay here, but you're so beautiful, you need to get out there and do what you like. Don't worry about what other people say, what the puppeteer said you should do. But you see, she's still going to be an actress in the theater. She say something along the same thing that I said here. And this double page is a bit of a waste, because an impactful double page like this should be drawn very carefully, but I'm not happy at all about how I actually drew it, unfortunately. And this is the worst page. I was in a hurry, and this is drawing so poorly. Everything is horrible. There is no three-dimensionality in the room. He's drawing so poorly. There is no balance between dark, black and white. Anyway, he wakes up in the morning, he see a shadow in the box, and when he realizes there's something wrong, he run towards the box. Inside, the unfinished doll is waiting while Luna is running somewhere else. And again, here I couldn't find proper reference for the theater. Like, she's supposed to be here behind the curtains of the theater, and when she finally comes out, lights are pointing at her, and audience is clapping, and she's very happy and about to perform and start to sing. So there you have it. I wanted to be very brief, but going through every page took some time. So you see what was wrong with this work, and why even after I submitted to the editorial department of the magazine, I tried to put it on the website to gather any type of feedbacks, and nobody left any comment. This is a character that I used to draw in high school in a different form, but actually the first time that I drew it, it was a doll in a more complex story with many characters. And when I was talking with the editor, I was struggling to come up with a story, and from the back of my head, I remembered that this character existed, and it was easy to draw for me, even if I struggled to draw the whole actual thing. And I came up with this story, and well, as I said, even if initially the editor suggested me to draw it, it ended up giving me feedback after I drew it, which explained how the story wasn't good because the main character is not acting as a main character, and I might add that the story is shit. So I talked for a very long time. I'm gonna edit this video and put it online, and let me know if you want what you think. I'm going to draw a new storyboard soon, which is the remake of the very last thing that I drew some months ago. And maybe I will do a comparison, but I will wait to finish the storyboard and draw the manuscript. So for now, thank you for watching.